Little girl outside of Houston, she had a flower in her hair. And I asked her she was going my way, and she acted as she'd have no cares. So I hitched her out on a no pickup truck, threw our knapsacks in the back, and we went over to Mississippi. That I'm never coming back. That I'm a traveling man, never lay my head in the same land.
Welcome one and all to another Blues on the Hill. Now it's a special Blues on the Hill because normally we open with Buddy Guy. We always open with Buddy Guy, but not tonight, because we have an international touring visitor in the studio. It's his first tour out of America. It's his first tour to Australia. He came here for the Bendigo Blues and Roots Music Festival. He is in his last 2 or 3 days in the country. His name is Travis Bowlin. The track you heard was from his debut CD called Actuality. The track we played was Travelin' Man, and he is a travelling man because it takes about 50 hours to get here. Not really, but it takes a long time to get to Australia from Nashville, and he's been travelling around Melbourne, so it's an absolute pleasure to welcome him into the studio. Travis Bowlin, welcome to Blues on the Hill.
Hey, thank you for having me, Barry. How you doing tonight?
I am doing well. Now, this trip, what expectations did you have before you got here, and have they fulfilled your expectations?
Well, my expectation really was just to come and do what I know how to do best, and that's play music. So, that was what brought me over here in the first place, and I don't want to jinx myself. I was hoping I wouldn't get in any trouble while I was over here, and so far so good. We haven't gotten any trouble, but I just really didn't entirely know what to expect. I knew I was coming over to play music. I knew it was people who loved the music that I was doing, but I didn't exactly know what to expect. But it's been an amazing experience from the time I got into Australia to this very point. Everything's just been amazing.
Yeah, you've had a blast. Now, so you came out for Bendigo Blues and Roots Music Festival, where you killed it for 4 days, picked up a lot of friends there. So how did it come about? How did the connection with Bendigo come about? Your first international tour. Why did you pick Australia? How did that work?
It was a complete mistake or accident, however you may look at it. In the States, the festivals, they start to book for the summer. They start doing their stuff in January, start getting their planning together. So I would do a Google search about every January of festivals, and I'll just blindly email anybody. And apparently in those emails was an application that I had sent to the Bendigo Blues and Roots Festival, and it wasn't until like nearly 6 months later, because your summer here is it's like backwards for us. Yeah. So it wasn't like till like that July that I had gotten an email from Colin, and he was like, "We'd love to have you. Let's figure out how to make it work." And it's been complete, learning process. Excuse me, but it took a whole, 3 months to pull it off, and that's. Some people were like, that's not enough time. Some people were like, that was plenty of time. But we pulled off about 16 shows in 18 days, and all the getting here and all the logistics. We figured it out in about 3 months. With no major help. Everybody who I sought help from, it's all as grassroots as I am. So, that's how it all started. And then I contacted you to do some cool stuff, and I contacted some other venues kind of blindly and said, hey, I'm coming in to do this festival, and I'm looking up to pick up some other gigs. And, You know, everybody who listened to the music was into it, and that's, you know, that's all I can just be thankful for that, so that they all took a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Melbourne is the blues capital of Australia, so you picked the right spot to land. Now, this album, wonderful album. So let's just quickly talk about it. Actuality, 2014, yeah, you released it?
Yeah, started releasing singles off that. We haven't released the body of work online anywhere. We just released some singles. It's really kind of the whole body of work you can only get seeing me live. And but it was recorded in 2014. It was kind of a few songs that were older songs, and a few songs that I had wrote, you know, when I first moved to Nashville, and you know, the inspiration that was surrounding me, and co-writing with other people who thought differently, and you know, or thought the same as you. And my good friend Nolan Neal, who is just, he's like, he always says, he and I are like, I'm the best apple, he's the best orange when it comes to singing. Like, he's one of the best singers I know. And he did a stint with, he had a deal with Virgin Records years ago, and he sang for the band Hinder for a while, and he was on the American version of The Voice for several weeks this current season. And I met him kind of organically through a place I was working for in the music business, and he was an artist and I was an artist. We both performed there, worked there, and we just kind of hit it off. And he was like, you know, I really think I can record a record for you that, you know, will get a vision across for you. And he's like, let me do one for free. So we recorded Bad Bad Man. And I went to like 3 studios. I went to like Top Dollar, Middle of the Road, and I went like dirt cheap in your basement, one microphone, Motown style. And there was like, you know, difference between all of them. And it was kind of clear from Bad Bad Man and how everything came together that was kind of the direction I needed to go. I needed him to, you know, because I had all the music arranged, but he helped produce them, you know, and he helped really to tighten them up.
Yeah.
And he's not only a great singer, songwriter, and producer, but he also played all the drums on that record. So when you have somebody who produced the record and plays the drums, the stuff's going to be on a dime. It's going to be nice and tight and fresh. And, you know, I mean, we have a tight, fresh, nice record, you know. And
Now, originally from Cincinnati, but you moved to Nashville in around about 2012, which is where it all started happening, yeah?
yeah. You know, what kind of brought me to Nashville was when I had went there on just a visit, kind of holiday, to check it out. They were like, everybody was just so inviting. You know, they were all into the music. As you know, when I went and toured Memphis, it was like, well, everybody has the blues there, you know. So in Nashville, it kind of stood out a little bit more. And so I was like, I got to get to Nashville. And it took a couple years before, you know, a job opportunity opened up. And like I said, I just went there because it's not just country music there. I mean, there is everything. There is screaming rock and roll there. There's blues. There's country. There's jazz. There's everything.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that question, how with Nashville being the capital of country music, how blues coexists, because you're involved with the Nashville Blues Society. So does it coexist easily? Is blues accepted as easy as country, or is it just get sort of wiped under the...
Honestly, you know, I've heard from people, if you say you're a blues artist, it's like a curse. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, you're cursed with the blues anyways. But I think it's about, in Nashville, I mean, really the difference between country and blues is black and white. I mean, it's the same thing. It's almost, the chord progressions are similar.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, some people sing different, you know. They got more of a twangier or nasally, other than a real meaty and thick from the stomach voice. And then you have people who, you know, live the same life but differently. You know, they have different attributes in their life. You know, it's like your truck broke down to be country music, but your Cadillac, you never had one in the blues. You know what I mean? So there's the comparisons. So You know, what I have tried to do is I've tried to, in a way, with my own music, try to figure out where is the evolution, where is the blues for someone my age, where is the way to say the same thing but different, because it's not, you know, the music that I grew up on, it's not those times anymore. You know, people might not necessarily talk like that or act like that, but that music is so influential to all sorts of music. The blues and gospel music is the roots of almost everything in America.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, people forget that. So, you know, it's how do you stay true to that but evolve that to enough to where you can grab listeners from, you know, 6 to 60.
All right, now you've got your guitar there, so
Yeah.
let's do something live. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a track. This is a track that I wrote with my good friend Jeff Pyatt, and I always tell a funny story because, you know, Jeff was one of my first friends in Nashville, and we wrote this song real quick after I had moved there, and it's a song about a two-time woman. And the story was, when I play live, you know, I wrote this song with my good friend Jeff Pyatt. We wrote it about two-time woman. Come to find out, we was writing about the same woman. Talked to you till I was blue in the face. You didn't listen to a single word I said. Now I'm tired of talking just to hear myself speak up. They say you don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, well, I've been used and mistreated so wrong too long, yeah. Oh, so wrong too long.
Absolutely wonderful. Let me get my mic back up. Live blues, folks. Unrehearsed, raw. The way it should be. Wonderful stuff, Travis. Thank you.
Thank you.